Classes of plants, fruits of nature, and fruits of industry. Mrs. Goldman removed rose bushes when she was preparing to sell her house. This would have been fine if the parties had agreed to their removal in writing, but because they didn't, and because the rose bushes were part of the real property, if they were in the ground and therefore attached, they became real property and couldn't be removed without an agreement to do so. Is it ever okay to remove plants without permission? Of course. Potted plants are fine. They're not affixed to the property, so they're considered personal property, and crops are considered the personal property of the person who planted them. Fruits of nature and fruits of industry. The two classes of plants are fruits of nature and fruits of industry. Let's take a look at each. Fruits of nature. Fructus naturalis are plants that don't require annual cultivation. These include trees, perennial shrubs, and some grasses. Fruits of nature are considered real estate. Fruits of industry. Fructus industrialis, on the other hand, are plants that require annual cultivation. These include crops of fruits, vegetables, wheat, and corn. Fruits of industry are also known as implements and are considered personal property even though they're part of the soil. Make sense? Now let's say your client's buying property that includes a Christmas tree farm. You want to make sure that the contract between the parties correctly spells out the disposition of those trees. This is an example of fruits of industry or implements. Severance. Severance occurs when an item that was real property becomes personal property by detaching it, severing it from the land. If Mrs. Goldman had, prior to marketing her property for sale, dug up and potted her rose bushes, she would have severed them, transforming them from real property to personal property. Annexation. The opposite of severance is annexation. This occurs when personal property is attached to real property, which makes it a fixture. So when Mrs. Goldman first brought her rose bushes home from the nursery, they were personal property until she planted them or annexed them to the land, making them fixtures and part of the property.